In this video, I'm going to answer your specific question. Now, in a previous video, I made a video regarding how a foot size changes throughout the day or throughout our life. And in that video, what I did was I showed the foot, and the foot here normally has an arch. You could see an arch right here. And there are two specific things, actually there's more than two, but I made it simple for the video that if a person gains a significant amount of weight, in other words, you get really, really fat, then what happens is the muscles and ligaments at the bottom of the foot just can't handle that weight anymore. So all of a sudden, the foot will start to flatten. Now, by doing that, it's interesting that maybe your shoe will not fit anymore because the length from this part of the foot to this part of the foot will lengthen. There's also another way that this happens. If you get pregnant. Now, there are many hormones, one in particular named relaxin, that your body produces when you are pregnant, and it softens all the soft tissues, the fascia, the ligaments, tendons, and muscles, so that your pelvis can actually open up a little bit and become, deliver the baby. Well, that happens in the foot too, because not only are you gaining weight in pregnancy, but those hormones allow the soft tissues at the bottom to become softer. So the added weight plus that hormonal change actually you become more flat-footed for some people, and the length between this bone and this bone actually makes it so that you have a bigger shoe size. Well, I get numerous questions, literally hundreds a day. People email me, they ask me on social media, they ask me on my YouTube channel, how do I make my foot bigger? Another question is, how do I make my foot smaller? And the other question is, how do I grow taller? Now, usually that's oversimplifying the questions, because usually the questions are, what supplements can I take to make my foot grow bigger? Or how can I exercise are there any exercises that can make my foot bigger? Are there any stretches to make my foot smaller? I'm going to answer all these questions in this video. Let's do the foot smaller thing. I'm not sure why people are concerned about it. I assume that people are self-conscious about their body, and usually most of these questions come from men, which is kind of interesting. So I haven't had one question from a female yet, because I think those were answered in the regular video. So are there any stretches that can make these bones change so that your foot can become shorter? The answer is there is no exercise, diet, or stretch that can shorten bones. The length of your bones is governed by your genetic code. Your foot is going to be as big as it's going to be or as short as it's going to be because of your genetics. The next question is, how can I take supplements, or how can I stretch? Can I hang from a bar or exercise a certain way in order to become taller? The answer is no. Now, certain malnutrition situations, you may not grow to the height that you want to grow, but once you've hit skeletal maturity, then you are the height that you're going to be, and there is nothing you could do about it. It is determined by your genetic code. Now, if you want to know, hey, I'm 14 years old, am I going to get taller? I'm 5'10" or something like that. The only way that can be determined is to x-ray all the bones of your lower extremity and find out if the growth plates are still active. Now, once you do that, you have had so many x-rays that now you're basically glowing. The risk of cancer is now increased because of the amount of radiation, and it does nothing to determine whether you're going to grow or not, or how tall you're going to grow. There is no way that I can predict over the internet how tall you're going to be. And I get that question a lot. Hey, I'm 14, I'm 5'10", how tall am I going to be? There's no way for anyone to know. Now, the last question, I'm not sure if people are giving me a code or they're actually talking about their feet, because these are not children. And by the way, if you're 14 years old and you're watching my video, I don't know how you're watching my video, because I put on my YouTube channel that this is for adult content. So how you're watching this, I'm not sure. YouTube isn't supposed to be allowing you to watch, but that's not really under my control. But I have 20-year-olds asking me, hey, is there anything I could do? Any supplements that I can take? Steroids? Is there any growth hormone? Is there any stretches, exercise I can do to make my feet get bigger? And I'm assuming you're just self-conscious about the size of your feet and it's not code for something else, because I believe that it's a fallacy that people of the opposite sex of you want someone with a larger foot size. So we'll discuss that in just a minute. But no, the answer is the size of your feet is determined by your genetic code. There is nothing you could do other than get pregnant or get fat to make your foot grow longer. Now, even if it went longer, you're not making the bones actually longer. You're not exercising or stretching to make the bones longer. You're just softening and damaging the soft tissue underneath, and instead of having an arch, your foot will flatten and it may go up one shoe size. So then, you know, if you're self-conscious about your feet, I can assure you that unless, you know, honestly, I don't know. I don't know where you're from and why people are valuing the foot size other than the alternative, which I think it's code for another body part. Nobody's looking at your shoe size. If you're really self-conscious about your shoe size, or you think your shoes don't look so, your feet look so small, then you can always wear a size bigger shoe, and that impresses people. But getting to the thing for code, I'm no psychiatrist, and you need to not really take this with a grain of salt. But if someone of the opposite sex is judging you because of your shoe size and is going to break up with you because of your shoe size, then there's nothing you could do about it. There's nothing you could do about it. You just have to let them go and search for someone that's going to accept your shoe size. I don't understand the questions. Many people will ask this question because they want to attract the opposite sex. And if someone's going to judge you because of your shoe size, then that's their prerogative. You know, if they're going to be determine a mate based on the size of your shoes, then that's the way they want to live their life, and there's nothing you could do about it. Likewise, people that judge others based upon their shoe size usually also are self-conscious about their body, shoe size. We'll just call it shoe size. But that's the reason why there's so much plastic surgery going on, because people don't like the shape of their bodies. And most people will tell you that if you're a 20-year-old male, and this is usually who's asking this question for this reason on my YouTube channel, if you are a 20-year-old male and you're concerned about your small shoe size and think that it's going to affect your relationships, unless it's drastically small, I can't see most women, or most people of the opposite sex, I should say, are going to be upset over that. The majority of women will tell you that it doesn't matter. Size doesn't matter. And it's such a cliche to say that, but if they say size doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. But the truth is, if size doesn't matter, then why are we comparing sizes? The answer is because probably, my guess is, for some people, probably size does matter. And they're very unsatisfied putting on the shoes, or putting a sock on the shoes, something like that. So what you have to do is you have to be okay with yourself. And that would be my advice, because I can't keep individually answering each person's psychological question of, you know, the ladies don't like my shoe size. Shoe size can change based upon testosterone, human growth hormone, relaxin. There's different hormones that can change you, but these are uncontrolled based upon us naturally. And also getting pregnant and gaining a lot of weight. So if this answers your question, I hope it does. I hope it answers the question that I think you're also asking, because some people directly ask this question, and some people it seems as though it's kind of code for something. Shoe size simply does not matter.